All right, and good evening, everybody. David Anderson, Ryan Thompson here, and we are back for the attack. How you doing, Ryan?
Great. I'm really excited for this.
Me too. It feels like it's been a little while. It has, I guess, since we wrapped up a season of iRacing GT3 Sprint Series here on Wednesday nights, and sure enough, we're back. It's been about 6 weeks or so between seasons, and we're kicking off a new season tonight at Twin Ring Motegi.
Yes, indeed. Here in Japan, this is really good technical track. A lot of hairpins, a lot of tight corners. So expecting to see a lot of action here.
Yeah, I am too, and really looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun season, a fun race tonight, fun opportunity for you and I to call it. And the guys are out qualifying already here, I believe, or maybe they're not. I think there's still a few minutes of practice left, if I'm not mistaken. So should be qualifying in 2 or 3 minutes here to get the season started.
Yep.
Yeah, and looks like we're going to have a really fun race here tonight to kick off this is now our third season in the last 18 months or so, maybe a little bit less than that, the last year for sure, where we're doing pure GT3 series Wednesday nights, a pro and an AM category, kind of back to our roots. This has always been a very, very popular format here at CMS, and to be able to have such a large field, that will certainly be the case tonight again, which has become the norm in this series. And Ryan, I'm seeing, looks like we've got 41 cars we'll take to the circuit here tonight.
Yep, that is a great number. We've we've had more, we've had less, but the 40 to 45 seems to be the sweet spot.
Yeah, and we will have, I believe, both of our defending champions in the field tonight, if I'm not mistaken. You'll have to keep me honest on that. I for sure see Victor Tanaka here. Took the championship last season. It looks like he's back here tonight to defend. And I'm looking for our AM champion, but I'm still scrolling through names here, trying to find everyone to make sure he's here as well.
I see him. Gabriel.
Yeah,
Albano
there we are.
Is here. Yeah.
Gabriel is here. I see him now. So Gabriel Albano will be back to defend the AM championship. Had a phenomenal season. Actually, I believe he has moved to pro, if I'm not mistaken. Ryan has not. Gabriel's moved into the pro category this season, I believe.
Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah, so anyhow, we will have a lot of familiar faces, usual suspects. It'll be Ryan and myself here on the call tonight, and for a good number of these races, everyone that we are able to bring to you this season. And we also hope to get a couple of our buddies in here. You know, I know last season we had Mark Johnson come by in the booth. Maybe we'll get the opportunity to have him in again. We're talking to Tim Collier potentially and Liam Park about helping us do a couple of races just to kind of mix things up a little bit. But for the most part, Ryan and I'll be kind of the core team here. And Ryan, privilege is all ours, isn't it, when it comes to doing
Oh
these?
yeah. Best seats in the house.
Absolutely. So while the guys are getting ready to line up and get going for qualifying, we'll make a couple of quick announcements. So again, we have for the third season in a row now, tremendous partnership from our friends at simrace247.com. They will be our title sponsor for the series again. We love Darren and his team. A huge shout out to them. Posted a really interesting article today, actually, about F1 2023 on their website, the new sim from Codemasters. So go check that out. Some of the things that the EA Sports team and Codemasters are doing to kind of make that a better experience for everybody was an exclusive article, I believe, that they were able to bring to us. So they'll be here with us. We also do this series in conjunction with our iRacing Team Endurance Series, which is a co-sponsor, which is kind of an in-house sponsor. That is one of, if not the flagship series here at CMS, and we will double up on the races that the iRacing Team Endurance Series, or IRTES for short runs. We will also run those same tracks on the same week when the series is there. And Ryan, this happens to be one of those weeks. We're kicking it off here at Twin Ring Motegi, and then we'll be here again Sunday for the multi-class race.
Yeah, that's how the schedule worked out. Our season was starting the same week that IRTES goes to Motegi.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's get out on the track and see some action here. Gabriel Albano is the first guy we're with here on his outlap, getting ready to qualify here. Gabriel, want to pay some tribute to him and give him another congratulations for winning the championship last season in the amateur class. All of our amateur drivers are marked with a 200 in front of their number. Gabriel is not an amateur anymore, so part of one of the rewards that they get, Ryan, for winning that championship is a automatic promotion into the pro category.
Pretty much.
So Gabriel, it will be really fun to watch him. He is just a phenomenal guy, a great person. I don't know about you, but we get an opportunity to talk to a lot of guys after these races that come in and visit with us afterwards, and Gabriel getting really loose off the last corner to start his hot lap here. But there's nobody funner to talk to than Gabriel. He's always just in a great mood and happy to be there, right?
Yeah, you can. The passion is evident, and we love to see that.
It really is. And so being with him and seeing his success last season was huge. We're going to ride around with him here and take a little bit of this circuit. Ryan, tell us a little bit about what you know about Twin Ring Motegi. This is a track that we don't race at a lot, but I think is a hidden gem in iRacing. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on the circuit tonight and why we picked it to start the season.
Yeah, I think so too. We picked it because you guys were running it, but.
Oh, that's right. So it's doubled up with the iRacing Team Endurance Series. Yeah.
But besides that, we have put it on the schedule before of our own free will, and it was really just one of those picks for a track that's nice and technical, but conquerable. Like it's something that you can learn fairly readily.
Mm-hmm.
And it leads to some really great racing. All these, like medium length straights with the tight turns, give lots of passing opportunities and lots of opportunities that look like you could pass, but maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah.
So there's lots of decision making and just really, good show of racecraft for anybody that wins here tonight.
Absolutely, and we saw Gabriel here as we ride along in the in-car cockpit, got really loose coming out of one of these tight corners. It's a track that I have found in my preparation. I always like to get out before we broadcast a race and take a few laps myself, and Gabriel has got a loose machine here. I don't know if you've noticed it, Ryan, but he is really fighting the steering wheel in this thing.
I can see.
Yeah, he's in for a handful tonight, I think, and so as a result of that, only able to be, let's see where he has come in, 21st fastest right now, and that's not going to be, he's not going to be happy with that, and he's definitely fighting his car. So let's go to Victor Tanaka. Victor Tanaka currently in third in the standings, and we're going to give Victor his accolades as well. Victor came off winning the overall pro category, and Ryan looks like he's going to pick up right. Whoa! And as soon as I say that, he's into the wall.
Oh no!
Well, I don't mean to laugh, but to keep from crying. Not good here for him. So we're going to move over to Max Muir. And it looks to me, Max, the provisional pole sitter right now, always a guy to beat, and definitely probably if he can be here every week this season, will be a championship contender. And Ryan, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like Max and Victor are running almost identical paint schemes. I wonder if these two have teamed up this year.
You know what? I think that's one of the Porsche default liveries.
Okay.
The 992 is new. We just added it for this season because it just got added to iRacing. So I think a lot of the guys haven't had a chance to
paint anything up.
Teams done.
Yeah. So Max is currently on the provisional pole. He's coming here for another lap, and he will better his time by a couple of thousandths. So a 50.219. Paul Darling in second place right now. Victor Tanaka in third. So he was able to get a lap in before he crashed. We've got kind of, it looks like maybe some some new faces as the guys are starting to kind of wind down here. James Gong still out on the track, but a few new faces up front as well. You're seeing some of the guys kind of come to a stop here as they finish their laps. So we're kind of getting the tail end of this thing. Here comes Tim Burkhart to the line. One of the few remaining cars out there trying to get a lap in before we get started. But, Ryan, back to what we talked on a minute ago, for me, going back to the track, I got out here, turned a few laps because A, I wanted to kind of, familiarize myself with it for tonight, and then B, I'm also going to do a stint or two in the Dallara LMP2 car this weekend at the iRacing Team Endurance Series. And I would agree with what you said. It's, these medium straights, tight corners. The corners are fairly flat. I found the track to be easy to learn and really also easy to overdrive and what I would say really difficult to master.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to be a healthy challenge for these guys tonight for sure.
Yeah, it's really, really good that way, and the quality of racing that it can produce is I think right up there with a lot of the sort of headline tracks that we're used to running.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is Tim Burkhart. He's out on a lap still. Pierre Robitaille just came into the pits, and we caught the tail end of the view of his car. Though Pierre is currently the provisional pole sitter in the amateur class tonight, so a really, really solid lap for him. Here's JT Tammy and out on the track in his familiar GT40. Looks like he'll bring it again for another go of it this season. And JT, always one of the last guys out, it seems like, to qualify every week. Currently setting in 18th position. So we'll see if he gets a nice time in here as he comes to the line in this thing. But, Ryan, I'm seeing a lot of new faces. I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces as well, but some guys that I think may be making their CMS debut tonight. A few of those I'll call out, and I apologize if you've been here before to any of these gentlemen, but JT Alfonso seems like someone new. Edison Hernandez, potentially. Trying to look down a little bit further here. Sean Fleming, potentially. I know Bobby Ballas, and I am, even with the pronunciation guide, I'm going to mess that one up, Brian. Help me with Bobby.
Yeah, I think he's fine with just Bobby, but
yeah, let's just call him Bobby B, right?
I think it's Bobby Babaletskus, I think is pretty close, but it could be way off.
Yeah, excited to have Bobby. He ran with us at the Majors 24-hour race with the Major Series and was a really great teammate and has decided to kind of pick up his involvement with CMS a little bit more. Here comes JT to the line. Let's see what he's able to put in. Doesn't look like... he did improve himself a little bit. Went a few tenths faster, down to a 51.7, and that will get him up to into the top 15 for tonight. So a solid qualifying, and I believe just about everybody has wrapped up at this point. So we'll give you a quick rundown of what the starting lineup is going to be. We'll go through the top 5 overall in each category. So Max Muir looks like he will be on the pole tonight overall. Paul Darling will be in second position. Our defending champion, Victor Tanaka, will be in third. Those are the top 3 in the pro category. Justin Hess, who really had a strong finish to the season last season, came on really, really strong, will be in fourth position. So Justin certainly a championship contender. And then Miguel Colon in fifth. And we always know Miguel is in the conversation as well. So as guys are starting to grid up now, our pole sitter in the AM class, in our familiar Christmas tree car that stays in the holiday spirit year round, is Pierre Robitaille. So, Ryan, we'd have to get out the record book and stats here, but I'm wondering if that's the first pole for Pierre.
I think he might have had one other one, but I could be wrong. This might be the first time.
Really solid
run.
For
Pierre, that's a really good drive.
Yeah, really good drive for him. Shane Hunter will be in second place in the AM category and in 12th position overall, rolling off the grid. Wesley True is in third, and that is 22nd position overall. Fourth is Bobby B. We're just going to call him Bobby B. In 25th position overall. And then familiar face, usually at the top of the standings and in contention for the AM category is Larry Ford. And I think Larry could be a dark horse, Ryan, for a championship run this season.
Sure.
Yeah, in the AM category, Larry put together a really solid season quietly last year, and we've had a few guys like Gabriel and a couple others that have promoted up to the pro category, and would be a safe pick to pick somebody like Larry potentially for a championship run.
I think any of these guys have some potential, so it's going to be a tough slog for anybody to win enough races to win.
Absolutely. It's going to be a really, really fun season, and can't wait to bring it to you. And we're going to get started right now, folks, as cars are gridded up. And am I looking at this, Ryan, correctly? Looks like maybe a full pace lap here.
Yeah, well, the iRacing full pace lap.
Yeah. Which is not a full pace lap, so it is a short lap. Okay, so yeah, we're coming around the last complex of turns now, and then they'll dive onto the front straight, and we will be live with action here from Twin Ring Motegi. And again, make sure you tune in with us on Sunday as well. We'll be back at this track with our partners from Apex Sim Racing TV as we do our iRacing Team Endurance Series. But Ryan, let's get this party started.
Here we go.
Here we go. Max Muir, Paul Darling going to bring us down into the start of the race here. Looks like we got a fan out here. Victor Tanaka makes a move inside. They're 4 wide, Ryan, coming down the front stretch. 5 wide in some places.
Christmas sweater had too much drag, lost a couple of spots.
Yeah, he sure did. I'm seeing David Max Muir is able to stay out front. Victor Tanaka has moved into second position. Drag racing Paul Darling down the straightaway. We've got a car off in the back. We'll come back to that in just a minute, but Max is clear going in here into the end of Sector 1. He's kind of built himself a little bit of a gap. They're still side by side behind him. Victor Tanaka, Paul Darling. Finally, Darling has to give way to Tanaka, and Tanaka sets out chase for Max Muir. Let's go back here. Here's Pierre Robitaille, our leader in the AM category, bunched up here, 12th position. Looks like he might have lost a few spots, like you said, Ryan, to some of the pro drivers, but has maintained the lead in the AM category, 12th position overall. So maybe just a little bit of a slow reaction for Pierre getting off the line, and they've gotten a bit single file back here. I am seeing some carnage behind them, though, and we'll try to pick up on those things just as soon as we can. We'll go back and look at some replays. But fairly orderly, at least from where Pierre sits. He's tucked in behind John Taylor Tammy, or JT Tammy for short, which is a good guy to kind of, use as a rabbit, wouldn't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, meanwhile, up front, we have already seen a checkout. You can see it here. We've got about almost nearly a 2-second lead developing with Max Muir out over Victor Tanaka. This is Max out all by himself. Tanaka, Paul Darling, Justin Hess, Miguel Colon behind them. So really close from second through fifth, or fifth, sixth position. But as we found in this series, Ryan, with these fast guys up front, whichever one of them can typically get out front, boy, they're hard to catch.
Yep, and Pierre has been taken out.
Oh, you're kidding me. Let's go back here and see if we can figure out what's going on. Here it is. Here's Pierre coming down the front stretch. It looks like he gets really... it looked like Pierre actually may have... He was hard on the brakes into the back of JT Tammy, and boy, as much as I hate to say it, Ryan, I think he had a hand in that, and then they stacked up behind him, and it was just kind of an accordion effect. Hard for us to say exactly what was going on, but it looked like Pierre was awfully deep into the corner there.
Yeah, I'll let the stewards figure that one out if it gets reported.
Yeah, of course. The good news here is it does not look like his car is horribly damaged. So we will see kind of where that ends up putting him. But, Ryan, boy, starts off leading the race and goes all the way back to 40th position after that.
Oh, and he's had some more trouble.
Oh, has he again? Okay.
There might have been some damage on his car, or I don't know.
Yeah, I'm seeing it here now. We're seeing it live, or just a little bit delayed.
It's on the grass, I guess.
Yeah, bless his heart. We're gonna quit focusing on Pierre. He's having a tough time, and we're gonna get to the new leader of the AM category. That is too bad. Shane Hunter. One man's struggles is another man's gains, right? And it looks like Shane Hunter here in the 298 has taken that position and is our new leader in the AM category. Ryan, tell me a little bit about Shane, what you know about him. And if you're not ready to do that, you can tell me when you are. But I would love to know a little bit about this man who's our new leader.
I can talk about Shane, a fellow Canadian from down east. He's been with us for a couple seasons already. He's with the satellite racing team, which you're familiar with from IRTES.
Absolutely.
And I hear he's done some motocross.
Oh, and he's off! Ryan, he's off!
No.
Oh, no! Oh, no! He wrecked in a straight line! We're going to have to quit talking about these guys in the end. Oh, you're kidding me. Meanwhile, while all this has happened, folks, just to give you an appreciation for what's going on out front, we've now got Max Muir out to a 3-second lead in this race over Victor Tanaka, Paul Darling. He has checked out and is gone, Ryan. I mean, look at this. He's all by himself on the track if we're looking from the blip view here.
We've seen that before for Max.
We really have. Now, let's go back a little bit further. This is the group behind him, and there's a hell of a race going on for second position. But, we have seen with Max, if he gets the track space he needs, he is about as quick and consistent of a driver as we have seen here at CMS in a long time.
Yeah.
Really, really talented. And, all right, Ryan, I think third time is a charm. We're going to get this right. And we are going to talk about our new leader in the AM category, Richard Delgado. Now, Richard seems like a new name to me, and we're watching him now in the Ferrari simracing PR. I'm wondering if this is one of the drivers, which we tend to see a little bit of a additional set of drivers show up to the IRTS races, and I'm seeing him with the sim racing PR team, and could be that he's driving an IRTES this weekend and getting a tune-up in here tonight.
Could be. He's been with us for a couple of seasons. At least that's the only data that I have so far. He's with Sim Racing PR, another IRTES team.
Yeah, and that's Miguel Colon is on that team, so you know that he's got a lot of support there from Miguel, and that's the other thing that we love about CMS too. Maybe just a shout out is that we were founded as a North American racing league and kind of USA time zones, but we have got so many drivers from South America, Brazil, Mexico, a lot of these guys that are in a similar time zone to us just because of where the world is, and it's great to see that kind of participation that we get from these guys, and we've met a lot of great friends. So glad to see Richard out here. Looks like he's having a really good race. And by the way, Ryan, he's out in front of Jose Correa, who Jose is for sure one of the iRacing Team Endurance Series cars, and this is Jose, who we ride along here with now. In fact, I'll go into his cockpit for a minute as he chases Richard around. But to give you an appreciation for the type of race that Richard's having already, Jose Correa is a championship contender in IRTES in this machine. So pretty impressive start for Richard, benefiting, of course, from the unfortunate troubles from Pierre Robitaille and Shane Hunter, who are in, hate to report it, Ryan, but last and dead next to last right now. Yeah.
But yeah, the Sim Racing PR team, we've got... I think the whole team is, there are certainly the GT3 drivers are racing on Wednesday nights as well, and they're, of course, a Puerto Rican team for the most part, and that includes Ricardo, who we were just following along with.
That's terrific, and that also, one of the leaders of that team, here's Miguel Colon, who I'm on now. Miguel, who we know very, very well. Looks like they're all running a few different cars. We saw Ricardo Delgado in a Ferrari, and Miguel Colon here in the Lamborghini. And looking good as usual. A nice 5th place start here. He's ahead of Michael Parker, a former season champion, just behind him. But yeah, how large is that team? Do we know offhand how many of the Sim Racing PR guys Puerto Rican team that we have?
Yeah, I can get you a count here.
And that's another great thing, that we've got so many really solid teams that we get the opportunity to, to get to learn and know about them and talk about them, and it really just is amazing the types of relationships that you see built here within our community, and it's just phenomenal. And speaking of teams, I'm seeing here that looks like Larry Ford and Mike Tyler. Oh, it looks like these are teammates, Ryan. And I think they're going to wreck. Oh, no. That's teammates. Larry Ford and Mike Tyler. And it looked like Mike gave Larry a bump, and Larry is still trying to get going here. And boy, that is... Larry's in all sorts of trouble here.
He's got trouble. These are consummate gentlemen. You know that there'll be nothing but apologies on the team chat over that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like Mike was able to continue on here. We were talking about Sim Racing Puerto Rico, and it made me think of other teams. And so Longhorn Racing was one of the ones that stood out to me. I am actually a member of that team. I race with the Longhorn Racing team. And, boy, I'm glad I'm not on the Discord right now, Ryan. So Mike, Larry is now the new last place driver in 41st. And we talked about Larry for a championship run. He's in the pits right now having to take a fast repair and have a recovery drive. And, boy, that's going to put him in a hole to start the season. Really is.
Yeah, we the silver lining is that we do have a drop race this season as usual. So if you have one bad result or if you can't make it to one race, it doesn't count.
Yeah, so that is good. It's sort of something that everybody should know, that you get a do-over, and that is helpful. We also allow our drivers one fast repair in the events as well, and that's really helpful for them too. And just kind of, in the spirit of fun, we try to keep it that way in most of our series here at CMS, just to keep as many people finishing the races each night as we can, because mistakes do happen. And Ryan, let's say he's about to start a new lap here. Let's ride around here on the roll bar here with Max Muir and just watch this man work. He is up to a 5-second lead in this race. I'm not even sure how to comment on that.
Well, if we're looking at the wheel inputs from who was that, Gabriel earlier, contrast it with Max here, how smooth he is.
Right. Gabriel was really fighting his car, and we'll give you guys an update on Gabriel here in just a few minutes. Whereas you can see Max is just very, very smooth. Fair amount of lock in that last corner. There are a lot of tight corners on this track. Really on the accelerator here, though. Minimal wheel input. And let's watch how smooth he is. This is a really smooth as fast through this section here. You got to get in here tight, then you got to kind of get off of it, and then get off this corner quickly. He does a beautiful job of that. Tracks out, uses all the track, and then all the way down on the hard brakes here for this left-hander. And just looking about as relaxed as you can be at speed is Max. Mad Max. Is that what we're going to nickname him?
With 40 drivers behind you that would really love to win the race too. Yeah.
Yeah, just going to watch him take. He's got no pressure to deal with from behind and a clear track ahead. And probably nobody more nervous than him right now, just wanting this thing to be over. He's got 47 minutes to get through, right, and hope nothing goes wrong.
47 minutes and a pit stop.
And a pit stop. So Ryan, tell me a little bit about fuel and tire settings, and has anything changed from last season to this season? Anything we should be aware about with regards to the format for the series?
Yeah, we're keeping it all the same this season, so that means 85% of the car's max fuel is the most you can put in the tank. And that should mean most of the time, at least, that you'll have to do you'll have to do one pit stop. Tires are completely up to you if you want to take them or not. In these cars, you can take tires, at least, I can't remember now, I think it's 2 tires without losing time if you're taking a lot of fuel.
Right.
But you'll still see a lot of drivers opt not to take them because they want to just keep the tires that they've got, because they're already broken in and warmed up.
Yeah, and you've also got to adjust as well, right, to being able to kind of, takes you a lap or so to figure out what those 2 new pieces of rubber are going to feel like, and could feel a little out of balance if you're not careful, for sure. But that's available, and we have seen guys be successful with it both ways, right?
Yep.
In the series, this is a really good battle going on here right now between Paul Darling and Victor Tanaka. Victor was ahead here. He is now behind. Paul Darling has gotten out in front of him. And speaking of someone who can really take care of tires and manage a car really well for an entire run, is Paul. Another person really good at that is the man here just behind these two, Justin Hess. He is phenomenal at managing tires as well. And we've seen him do that and be able to turn that into some victories late last season. So I believe Le Mans is a race that stood out to me where he was really, really good at that. And we've just got some great battles all the way through the top 10. I'm kind of doing a little bit of a field rundown right now. This is Michael Parker and Miguel Colon. It looks like Michael is in the new Porsche livery, or the new Porsche, and it looks like he's got a fun sort of take on the Gulf orange and blue with a little bit of black mixed in there on this car. It's a great looking car as he follows Miguel Colon around. So fun to see him in the Porsche.
Yeah, I do love that livery.
Yeah, I do too. And I believe that with Michael in particular, third season, this is, I think, the 3rd different car he's run. I want to say he maybe ran a Lamborghini, could be wrong, the first season, but ran an Audi in the second season, and now has switched over to the Porsche. But Michael always up front, and these two guys, we call them the M&M brothers, and looks like they're back right where they're comfortable, Ryan, together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chasing each other around the track, right? They're kind of stuck with each other. And I don't think they'll be probably more than about this length apart all night long.
Probably not.
All right, let's do a rundown. What do you say in our pro category? Because that has continued to be where all the drama has been tonight. So let's check in on that. 17th position overall is in the Ferrari here, Ricardo Delgado. So we talked about Ricardo. He was able to benefit from the trouble of Shane Hunter, Pierre Robitaille, and Larry Ford, for that matter. 3 guys that for tonight and for the championship we think are going to be guys to deal with. Right now, those guys are all in serious trouble, and Ricardo has benefited from that and continues to run a really good race. 17th position overall. He's in here mixing it up with some of the pro drivers and looking pretty strong, Ryan. I think this is a guy that's got to be pleased with his start here to the season.
For a debut run, he's, you couldn't ask for better.
No, you really couldn't. Now, just behind him, not too terribly far, about 2 seconds back, is Bobby B here. Oh, Bobby B in the black and gold Porsche here. So, looking at the two of these guys, pretty identical lap times right now. So, and then Christian Oquendo is the car in the Mercedes, another Puerto Rican driver. So, and did I ever get the count from you of how many we've got here from the Puerto Rican team? It's half a dozen, I would think.
I think it's 5 that have signed up, unless maybe one or two didn't put in their team name.
Yeah, okay.
on the sign up, but I think it's 5.
And we've touched on at least 3 of them here, with Christian Okindo, one of them just ahead of Bobby B here, and Christian in the Mercedes. So that's 3 drivers, 3 different cars. So they're getting their money's worth, if you will, out of the iRacing subscription on this team. And I think if I'm Ricardo here, I probably like having a teammate behind me. I'm not racing him. Of course, I don't want to hold him up. Ricardo, an AM driver. Christian is pro. It looks like he's maybe going to give way now and let his teammate go. Boy, awfully close there as that happened.
Yeah,
a little bit of a nose to tail swap there, but that's going to set this up now for a race. I was talking about that because he had a little bit of a buffer and a little bit of protection, but now the only thing between Bobby B is about 10 car lengths, and he has the opportunity to get up there and battle Ricardo. And Ryan, we're going to have to keep our eyes on this thing.
Yep. Yeah, we'll have to see what kind of pace these two can maintain as the race goes on. But there's definitely a shot. 2 seconds over, 45 minutes left.
There really is. And, guys, we've talked a little bit about the field up front. That lead now from Max Muir is up to 7 seconds. So you're not missing anything there. We will let you know if something does change there. Paul Darling remains in second. Victor Tanaka in third. This battle for first and second in our AM category is a little bit closer. If we go back about 6 seconds, we find this man, and that's Wesley True, another Porsche driver and a member of the Dog Bear racing team. We've talked a lot about teams tonight, Ryan, and this is another one that's just a top-rate team. These guys have got their act together, and they are always in everything strong. So great to see Wesley having a good run here in the AM category in third position overall.
Absolutely. Yeah, the Dog Bear guys have just been great on track and off track. They've been really involved with the community, and they just sort of came to CMS, about a year ago, and just, made themselves at home and just fit right in.
They really did, They got, I don't remember, it doesn't really matter if they got involved here on Wednesday nights first or if it was the iRacing Team Endurance Series. I want to say it was here. And now I know they're running in both, and really just a great group of guys, and they always have really good attitudes. They run up front. Their cars look great. They work well together, and that's the kind of, guys we want here in the community, and we're privileged to have them. Really are. So Wesley, off to a podium run here tonight. And, Ryan, I don't know that we talked a whole lot about Wesley last season.
We had 1 or 2 opportunities,
yeah.
but yeah, he's really good to see him running up here in third place.
Yeah, and then let's go on down to 4th and 5th. Here's Joe Stifel. Joe has the same beautiful Tiger-based paint scheme that we've come to love this car, but he has moved to the Ferrari, so that is new, and it is new to see him in the Ferrari, but such a classic paint scheme in sports car racing here, and seeing this thing, Joe's looking really good, and another driver that probably is worth consideration for potentially a run at the championship in the AM category. I think Joe could be a driver we could see not only have a good season, but potentially also maybe get into victory lane.
Yeah, he's been really consistent anytime we've seen him.
He has, and he's shown that he's got the skills to be able to win a race. He believe was a winner at the Porsche Cup Series in a race, or at least on the podium. And so that's good. And then 5th position here, how about a really good run? And, Ryan, I have to say, one of the better runs from this man I've seen in a while. And it's such a positive thing to see Leonard Burke here in 5th position in the Porsche. And Leonard has... he's had a lot of hard races. He really has. But to see him in 5th position tonight, he's looking pretty strong.
Yep. Yeah, a top 5 is really good. Like this AM category, we call it the AM category, but that doesn't mean it's the slow category. These guys are still very fast. and certainly towards the sharp end of the M class, the lap times are right up there with a lot of the pros.
Absolutely, and and a lot of these guys, some of these AM drivers are really well represented in our iRacing team, endurance team that we have. Not the endurance series, but we have a team of about 20 drivers here at CMS that are part of the iRacing endurance team. And what we do, Leonard is a member of that team, and he's a very good member and is very active, makes about 90% of the races. But that is really a great opportunity for anybody interested to get experience running longer races, representing CMS outside of the community. It helps kind of bring brand awareness to what we do. We get to have camaraderie and have fun. There's nothing like running as a team in an event. And Leonard is a driver. I've personally been hard on him, Ryan. I've told him a few times now that we need to see a little bit more consistency in the car when he's in it, and I'm glad to see that he's taken that coaching, well intended, of course, and he's having a really, really nice run tonight, and hopefully that will give him the confidence he needs to just have success everywhere.
Yeah, good. And I got a break for a weather report here. When we started the race, the track temperature was 52 Celsius. Convert that for y'all. 125 Fahrenheit, and it's cooled off about 10 degrees.
Wow, so it was just burning up. And, we're down to 41 C now. And as we continue to ride here with Leonard Burke, I'm showing Alex Maynard potentially with a problem here, Ryan. Let's take a look here. Coming through this last set of corners. Oh, boy. Just around and into the kitty litter there.
Yep.
Easy to do there. That final set of corners is one of the most unique chicane areas I could say I've ever experienced. Looks like Alex will get going here again, and hopefully no harm, no foul there. Well, he's still trying to get the damn thing straight.
Yeah, gotta do the double rejoin here with all these guys behind him.
He sure does. I know Alex, talk about him for a minute while we're on him, say something positive. He is, I know, excited to race in our new series. We have a brand new series starting on Friday nights, and it's going to be completely different. It'll be our oval NASCAR trucks. And I know Alex is one of the drivers, I believe, that is going to be in that series and is getting excited about it. And I'm excited about it as well. And so a little bit something to do and another opportunity to get involved in iRacing. So hopefully we'll see some people come join us there. Ryan, that might be a good one for you to dust off the wheel and pedals and get out there with us.
Oh, I'd love to. Alex here reports that his sim rig is a Logitech G29 hooked to a flimsy Walmart card table.
Well,
so if you can run up in the front end of this crowd with that setup,
then
you don't need the fancy wheels.
No, you don't. And you know what? Maybe he's making a case though to need an upgrade because he's running in 39th place right now, Ryan. So, but that was after his spin, so we don't know where he was running up front. But all right, let's give credit where credit's due. Let's get back up here to the guy who is stinking up the race. Ryan, I'm seeing a 10-second lead here now from this man. Somebody throw some water on this guy. He's on fire.
Yeah, that's rapid. He's been I'm just trying to pull up the lap times here, see if anybody's got in contention. And Max has been super consistent. His last lap was about 1/10 of a second slower, but other than that, they've all been within about a 1/10. Just the high 151, low 152s.
Yeah, and he does have the fastest lap of the race with a 51.096. So he has not only been the fastest, but he's also probably been the most consistent driver. And I tell you what, to be able to be out in front of somebody like Paul Darling and Victor Tanaka, who we see here, Especially speaking really for all these guys. But, Paul is part of that satellite racing team that we know so well. And I believe they are viewed really, we've talked a lot about teams tonight, Ryan, so let's keep it up. Paul and this team here, they are viewed as one of the top esports teams, certainly in North America, in iRacing. And Max is putting a whipping on Paul, and Paul's probably in that top 10% of iRacers. Not only talent-wise, but reputation-wise as well. We've talked about the fact that Paul has won a large esports competition that was sponsored by Sports Car Club of America and iRacing together. I believe it was in the Spec Racer Ford format, and having a phenomenal race. We don't want to take anything away from Paul by any means, but I think it just kind of goes to show you that Max Muir. He's not giving us anything exciting to talk about other than just how good he is.
Yeah. And I have checked on those lap times. Max's average lap time has been at least 2 to 3 tenths faster than Paul or Victor.
Yeah. So,
which is incredible at this level to be that much faster.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. And back here, and if we take Max out of the picture, which we're certainly not going to do, although he is literally out of the picture in the race, pretty good battle here. So, if anything were to happen, and we don't want to wish anything on Max, but if anything were to happen, this Paul Darling Victor Tanaka matchup, they're about a second and a half apart, and so they've been pretty well glued to each other the entire race, as have these two guys that we talked about, Michael Parker, Miguel Colon, and Jose Ramirez has now joined this party. So if you remember earlier, Ryan, we talked about the TPRT team. Jose Ramirez back here in this Lamborghini is now on the tail of Michael Parker, and I believe we saw Jose, maybe that was Jose Correa, I think it was, but Jose Ramirez will definitely be a contender in this beautiful Lamborghini that we're watching right now come Sunday in the IRTES race, and he may be about what's going to get up here and split up the M&M brothers if they're not careful here, because he's not only joined this party, but he's on the charge.
Yep. Yeah, he's looking really good here.
Yeah, really is. I'll watch him see if he can't grab these two and get up there and kind of insert himself into the picture. And, I know Jose doesn't make all of the races on Wednesday nights, but he always is here whenever they double up with the iRacing Team Endurance Series. And good way to test and have some fun and just get even more prepared come Sunday's race.
Yep. I don't know who Frogger 15 is, but they say, let's go, MM. Indeed.
Yeah, well, I'm going to assume he's talking about these M&M brothers here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Here they are. Looking terrific. Michael Parker is just so consistent. But boy, that shows you the kind of race that Miguel's having. And again, these guys are 18 seconds behind Max Muir.
Apparently they were cheering on Max Muir.
Yeah, apparently they are.
My mistake. My apologies.
Well, I've got more unfortunate news for my teammates. Looks like Longhorn Racing Mike Tyler here with a problem. Okay, that's not too bad. He'll be okay. I do know that Mike and Larry and Brett Stevens, who I don't see here tonight, but I know that the three of them have also just can add themselves to that list, Ryan, of drivers who've gone to the Porsche for this season. And right now that Porsche is well represented. I am seeing a lot of Porsche logos here in this top 10 in this race. Looks like about 4 of them.
Really popular when we announced the switch. People, got a chance to try it in the preseason, and they were hooked. The reports came in that it was just a super stable car that you could, set up really easily to go fast, but also not kill you. Yeah, a lot of the guys just wanted to switch to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, but the top 10 is pretty well represented here. We've got some BMWs, and that would include 11th place as well. Chris Hudson is in a BMW. We've got the Ford GT40, couple of Lambos, 2 Ferraris up here. Let's kind of look at our top 10. So we'll start there. Here's Jose. Help me with the pronunciation. I want to make sure I get this right. Number 36, Jose Diolio. Do I have that? Is that the way we say that?
DeLeo?
DeLeo.
Oh.
Jose DeLeo. I think that's right. We know Jose. He's been with us a long time, and he's always in this BMW and always looking good. But now that we've brought in a pronunciation, I want to make sure.
Yeah, we don't actually have the pronunciation.
Okay, well, we're gonna say Jose is in here in 10th in the BMW, doing really, really well. Always a really consistent driver. He's been in this car now a few seasons. We did see him. I want to say he either won a race at Red Bull Ring or was in second place. Might have been second place to Miguel Colon, but really put on a great show in our first season that we've been doing these broadcasts. And so Jose in 10th. Just up the road from him, about 6 seconds, is our man in the GT40, the guy who just is not afraid to drive anything. In the Champion Motorsports livery or Champion Racing livery, JT Tammy in 10th or 9th position. How about Stephen Yanni? Ryan, Stephen Yanni made that, won an AM championship a couple years ago, or I say years, but a couple of seasons ago. And Stephen here has also moved to the Porsche this season, having one of his better runs in a while since he's been over in Pro. He's in 8th position overall.
Definitely, yeah. Steven's just been putting in the work, having decent finishes all the time here since his move to Pro. Really proving that he belongs.
Yeah, he really does, and having just a really, really good race. And car had trouble just in front of them there. Who was that with the trouble? Let's go back here. It's the Lambo just in front of him.
Well, Steven's in the blue and black car.
Yeah, was that JPL Alfonso? No? That was a lapped car. It was a lapped car that had trouble. And I'll see if I can't get a report on that. JP Alfonso is the other driver I wanted to mention here in 7th position. Now, JP seems like a new name to me. Assuming this is his first race with us.
Yep.
What do we know about JP? Did he put any details for us that we can give him some kudos?
We got a little bit. Yeah, he's from Gainesville.
Okay.
He's on the Ignite Racing team, and he's a professional tattoo artist, and he's got a website.
Wow. Well, you know what? I was just about to comment that his car looks a little tattooish. That wasn't the word that I was grabbing, but now that you say that, look at this thing, man. It's like this carbon fiber tiger type look. This thing is bad to the bone, Ryan.
That is cool. Yeah, that looks like something a tattoo artist would.
It does. I think I want a tattoo of that just all over myself. All right, I'll stop. That would not be a good visual for anybody.
Our friend in the chat, Frogger15, reports on Max Muir. He says he's my homie, and I can tell you exactly how they feel. They I think, being the drivers behind him, they feel frustrated because it's frustrating to race that man.
Yeah, he is on a tear tonight. But again, welcome to JP Alfonso. Maybe we'll use JP as our driver that we will kind of focus on and talk a little bit about. We like to kind of pick a driver, or if not two each race, and just really talk about them as much as we can. So seems like this man is a tattoo artist. Hopefully we'll get to see some pictures of his work at some point, Ryan. And new to the league, I'd be curious to know how he found us. And hope that he's finding himself at home and welcome. And if he hadn't made a name for himself yet, he's certainly making one tonight. People are going to know who he is after being in the top 10 with this crew.
Yeah, I think they'll know the name.
Yeah, they really will. So and when you say Gainesville, I'm assuming Florida.
Georgia.
Georgia. Okay.
Or, I'm sorry, he's originally from Gainesville. Now he's in Georgia.
Okay, so he's originally okay. And we'll have to get him to give us some details on that if we get the opportunity to talk about him. And he has given chase to Justin Hess just up the road. Justin in 6th position tonight, and I'm a little surprised that he's only in 6th, Ryan. Justin was arguably the hottest driver finishing last season. You could certainly say that he was. Wasn't able to run the full points, set of events, and so he wasn't in the championship battle. But Justin Hess here, who we ride along with now, in 6th position overall, gotta think he's maybe a little, no one as competitive as Justin is. I think that, although I would think that would be an ecstatic run, gotta think Justin's maybe a little disappointed. What's your take?
Yeah, I mean, he's done so much work with the Ferrari, like going back to the GTE days. He, he had that car dialed in, and now he's got this car dialed in. So yeah, I know there's multiple levels of competitiveness in Justin. He wants to, have the best setup car and have the best run, and usually he's got a pretty good shot at doing those things.
Yeah, and you say that, I'm looking, he's got a lot of lock into this thing right now. If you're watching his hands here with me like I am, there's a lot of wheel input into this thing, and I'm wondering, as Justin, who we know is a setup specialist and spends a lot of time working on setups, I don't know that we have run a track, you'll have to keep me honest on this, Ryan, but I don't know that we've run a flat, type track in the corners especially, in the last 3 or 4 months. So maybe he's still got some dialing in to do on this, profile of a track, which, these Asian tracks are, like Okayama and here and Suzuka, they're all kind of similar. And I know we did run at Suzuka, but this car to me does not look balanced.
Yeah, I'd have to see externally, but yeah, it's you're right. It's a flat track. It's also really hot, and the left tires are just getting absolutely chewed up in a lot of these corners, lap after lap. So
yeah, in fact, it went down 10 degrees, and now the temp's starting to come back up in the race. By the way, we are starting to see some pit stops. Michael Parker, we're on with Michael here now, but he's back out on the track. Michael is the highest driver in the race who has pitted. We've seen about a little more than a third of the field come in for stops. Of course, some guys had to come in for trouble. Guys like Larry Ford, Pierre Robitaille, who we talked about earlier. But Michael Parker was in for a service stop, and he is now being shown in 15th position. Nobody ahead of him on the track. In fact, that's Bobby B just ahead of him in that battle for the AM category, and Bobby has not come in here either. By the way, we talked about that a little bit earlier. Bobby B, who we see here just ahead of Michael, had really got up to the back of Delgado, but Delgado has now stretched that out to about a 5-second lead, Ryan. So he saw Bobby come up behind him, and I'll see if I can kind of give you guys an appreciation. This is Bobby in the black and yellow car, and then Ricardo is all the way up here about 5 seconds ahead. So he got up on the wheel when that happened and decided he just was going to not give Bobby any hope.
Put in the nitrous
and go, right?
Yeah.
And, another shout out to Delgado as well. I'll have to double check this, but I think I just saw this on a car around in front of him there. Let's go back here and watch a replay of that. Oh boy, that's a pucker moment. That's the 295 of Nicholas Bala. And Nicholas, one of the back markers tonight. But boy, that had to be a pucker moment for Ricardo. But Ricardo is also up 15 positions from where he started. So not only is he setting out to potentially get a win here tonight, he's having one hell of a drive, hard charger-wise as well, Ryan.
Yeah, that's to come up that many spots, always difficult in this crowd, and to parlay that into fighting for the lead is all the more impressive.
Absolutely. By the way, Victor Tanaka has now gotten back around Paul Darling. So you see that battle here. This is Darling, and he is now behind Tanaka. And so probably a situation where these cars, some of these front runners were starting to go around some of the back markers. We've now got from 27th to 41st position are all at least one lap down. And Victor may have used that to get around Paul. So Paul has now slipped to third. And Victor back in that P2 position. I'm seeing James Stacy has come into the pits here, and you can see him coming out of the pits here now, Ryan. Shout out to James. We've got James is part of that pneumatic racing team with Jason Lundy. Michael Parker's on that team. And I don't know that we've seen... James has done some admin work for us here. And good to see him back with us. Assume this is the same James.
As far as I know, he hasn't said much to any of us, but
yeah, so might just be back out doing some racing and enjoying that, and doing quite well.
Yeah, good to see him with us. I saw the application come in, and
yeah, that's fantastic. Fantastic. And that's another thing that we try to do is make CMS accessible. There's a lot of leagues that will punish you if you don't make enough races, or tell you that you can't, you got to go to a waiting list or something. But, we let people race when they're able to race, and when you're not able to race, then you're just not able to race. And, of course, we want and like for everybody to show up, because it gives us a better, the more drivers we have, the better, experience everybody has, and the better show we can put on and whatnot. But even if you got to take a break from time to time, and, Ryan, I know you and I have had to do that. We've, got some friends like, Tim Collier. I don't see here tonight. I think he's still on a break. And sometimes you just got to recharge the batteries.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, one of those things where, sometimes you got to take a break. Sometimes you just got to, power through a couple of bad races. And I never know which one I'm supposed to do until way later. So it's always a crapshoot. But
yeah,
you do what you got to do, and it's good seeing all the same names come back week after week, and the people that show up a little more intermittently, we still love to see them too.
Absolutely. We've got a pretty good little race going on here right now for 17th and 18th position. This is Kevin Ayers, and just ahead of him, I wanted to provide an update on this. I had it on my notes from earlier, is Gabriel Albano. So Gabriel is our champion from last season in the AM category. Did elect to go ahead and move to the Pro category this season, running in 18th position with Kevin, and it looks like Gabriel's going to come to the pits right now, so we'll actually kind of watch him come onto the pit road and see how his stop goes here. I'm curious to see. This is a driver that's having a pretty solid race, Ryan. What are you thinking? No tires at this point? 13 minutes to go in the race?
I don't know. Maybe take lefts.
Looks like he did take a fast repair. There was a little bit of crinkle, nothing major in the car, so he did take a fast repair, but I don't think he took tires. This was a fuel-only stop from what I can tell. But Ryan, we're getting down to 10 minutes to go or so left here in the race, and none of these guys in the top 13 have pitted yet. So we're going to have to start kind of watching to see if they start to peel off here.
Yeah, I suspect they'll need, I don't think anybody's going to be able to no-stop it, but I've been wrong about that before.
Yeah, it looks like Justin Hess, I'm hearing some radio that he may be coming to the pits. Let's see if he pulls in here now.
There he goes.
There he goes. I was slightly behind. He is in the pits now. We're watching his pit stop. This is Justin sitting in the pits here in the Ferrari. Just a gas and go here. So, yeah, I think if you waited this long, you're not taking tires at this point. It's just not worth it. Justin going to come out, and we'll see where some of these guys... Looks like he came out and did stay ahead of Michael Parker. See if we see Michael come into the picture. There's Michael coming into the picture now. So Justin was able to stay in front of him. So mission accomplished there. These are guys that are all kind of battling for the top 5 once things kind of start to shake out. Okay, I gotta know, Ryan. You're gonna have to help me here. Who is this man? Is that James Gong in the Skittles car? It sure is. That's what I'm gonna call this thing. Doesn't it look like a bag of Skittles? It's making me get my sweet tooth going.
I can't tell with all the glare if that's.
Look at this thing.
Oh, is that like the Pride colors? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
It's hard to tell with the glare before, but yeah.
Yeah,
that's what
it may be the Pride colors, but I'm also going to go out on a limb and say Pride, Skittles. Yeah, they both work, both positive things, and great looking car. He needs a couple of logos on it, though. Is kind of what I'm going to suggest to his marketing manager. He needs to get a couple of logos on this thing.
Well, I'm sure I could find the Skittles logo somewhere and send it to him.
All right, back to business here. Here they are. We've got some of the guys here that have been doing stops. A couple of them now. Looks like Victor Tanaka has just recently come out of the pits, and he managed to stay ahead of Justin Hess and ahead of Michael Parker, Max Muir, Paul Darling, Miguel Colon, JT Tammy, Stephen Yanni have not come to the pits yet. And Ryan, you don't think this maniac here in this Ford GT40, JT Tammy's going to figure out how to not stop in this thing, is he?
Well, if anybody can do it, it would be him or Justin. And Justin's already pitted.
Yeah, and let's see if he comes in here. If anybody could make it, it's this man, isn't it? Always has something up his sleeve.
With his right foot fuel map.
Tell you what, he is. I'm surprised more guys aren't driving this car. It's not a cooler car than this one. Max Muir, by the way, is on pit road as we speak. This is Max. Let's watch his stop here. Make sure things go smoothly. First position, first pit box, and he's going to be in and out of the pits here quickly. And we'll have no trouble keeping the lead here. That's Miguel Colon just behind him. Paul Darling has now assumed the lead, Ryan. And Paul Darling is another one. We saw Paul Darling win a race on fuel mileage last season.
Yeah, I forgot that.
I did too. And, there's something that's got me thinking here. We were talking about how dominating Max was. Could there have been some strategy here by a couple of these guys? I don't know. 8 minutes, though, is a lot of laps, isn't it? That's a solid 4 laps.
Yeah.
See if Paul comes to the pits here. I think this will tell us a lot. I think if he's going to come, I would expect him to come now. By the way, we have Paul Darling, Miguel Colon, JT Tammy, Stephen Yanni, and Edison Hernandez, as well as Jose Correa and Christian Oquendo and Leonard Burke. None of them have pitted yet.
So even some of the AM drivers are holding out.
Yeah, Peter Hebron is another one. Now, a couple of these guys are on pit road now. As soon as I called their names, they're on pit road now. So here he is coming around the last few sets of corners here. Let's see if we see Paul pull up to the pits here, Ryan. And he will. So that tells me I just can't see anybody making this thing.
Yeah, the type of track it is, it would have been a long shot.
Really would have. Now, JT Tammy, let's go to JT, currently in 4th position. Let's see if he pulls in here. He does not, Ryan. JT Tammy, at least, is going to be one driver who's going to keep the suspense going, and he's going to take this thing down around another lap. And as brief as it may be, Miguel Colon is on pit roads. We're going to see the GT40, Ryan, leading the race.
Now, last time JT had a fuel-saving strategy, he texted me from the race to ask if he was required to pit.
True story. He texts, picks up his phone while he's contending for a win, and texts the broadcast team. And Ryan was doing double duty as a administrator that night. All right, so I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say if he doesn't come to the pits this time, Ryan, that he's gonna try to make this thing.
Yeah, he's just crazy enough to make it work.
He really is, and JT knows kind of where he is. I mean, so first of all, JT is one of the best sim racers on the planet. He is. If I was picking a team in a lot out back, and we were picking sides, I certainly would pick him at the very top of my list. But he knows that he's maybe just a little bit of a step behind some of the guys who are going to compete with wins, especially in this car. And so he has nothing to lose, right? But I got to think if he's coming now. He is the only car at this point in the race who has not pitted. And maybe he knows something we don't, because he's also the only Ford GT40 in the race. But we're about to find out right now. Ryan, he's doing another lap. Now, did he get the lead? I don't think he did. Max Muir has been so dominant that JT is only in P2 right now. So my bad saying he was leading the race. He is actually 14 seconds behind Max Muir, who has taken a pit stop.
Yeah, that's really incredible. As we know, JT is not slow. He is one of the fastest drivers out there.
He's really not, and that is just, again, a testament to the type of drive that we're seeing here, with a 14-second lead over the one car who hasn't pitted, and a 15-second lead over Victor Tanaka as well. So, okay, let's do a rundown. Max Muir here in first. We have about a little less than 5 minutes left in the race. Max Muir is in first. JT Tammy currently in second place. Now, JT has not pitted, so we do not know if this is his rightful position or not. He could be trying to stretch this thing on fuel. We'll give you an update on whether or not he comes to the pits. Victor Tanaka is just behind him in third position, but Victor has come in and pit. So if JT has to pit, then Victor is going to assume that second place again, rightfully all on his own. Miguel Colon is in fourth position. He is about 10 seconds behind Victor. Jose Ramirez is in fifth. That is your top five in the pro category. If we go back to the AM category, 14th position overall, and pretty well leading from the beginning of the race. By the way, JT Tammy is on pit road as we speak, so he was not able to stretch it. But Ricardo Delgado, this is our leader. He has led most of the race here tonight in the AM category. Currently has about a 17-second lead over Bobby B. And so Ricardo in a really, really good position to win the race here in the AM category. Here's Bobby in the black and yellow Porsche in P2. Back in third position, and Ryan, I don't think we've talked about this gentleman tonight. Let's have a shout out to a beautiful looking car, David McNellis in P3 in the AM category. Terrific drive here for David.
Yeah, David McNellis has got a new livery, new car.
And having a terrific race. And you know what? I don't know how this is possible. But let's see, that's first, second, third. Fourth position in AM category is Mike Tyler. So we saw the trouble with Mike Tyler and Larry Ford early in the race. Then we saw another off that Mike had. But Mike has managed to get back up on the wheel in this thing, and Mike's in 4th position in the AM category. What a drive.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, terrific. Huge shout out to Mike. Great. I know he's got to be feeling bad about the contact with Larry Ford, but we know that's just teammates and best of friends, and that was just a mistake on one of their parts, and it happens, and unfortunate it did happen, but Mike is making the most of his opportunity, and he's in 4th position. And then Shane Hunter has clawed himself all the way back up into 5th. So Shane Hunter is our 5th place man, and he's actually only a couple of seconds here behind Mike Tyler. So Mike and Shane have a battle here that we'll have to follow coming to the end of this thing. We'll have to see if Shane's got enough time to try to run Mike down. I don't know that he does, but that's our top 5 in the AM category. So exciting. We've got about a minute left here, Ryan. I think we'll be seeing a white flag here for Max probably this next time by. And it looks as if we have only 2 cars out of the race tonight, and unfortunately one of them is Pierre Robitaille, our pole sitter in the AM category, with a 41st place finish. The other car who is retired was a recent retirement. Ryan, I think it was a disconnect. It was Edison Hernandez. Edison was running kind of up in the top 10, and I think he may have had a disconnect of some sort.
Yeah, that's another reason we have the drop weeks. We have a couple of unique challenges that real life drivers do not have.
Absolutely. Also, we want to give a shout out to everybody that watches us on Twitch and YouTube, whether you're here in the channel with us live tonight. I know Ryan's been chatting with a few of you. Thank you for your support. Tell your friends about us. Come hang out with us a little bit. I'm also seeing Chris Hudson maybe as a recent retirement, Ryan. Showing he is disconnected from the server, and it looks like we may have had an issue here. Here's Chris, who we've not talked at all about tonight, and it looks like Chris had an accident, bad accident. What the hell? Good Lord, that's got to be some sort of a technical issue.
He was still on the throttle there. It might have been a disconnect or...
Yeah, like it may have been, and I'm showing him disconnected, which is unfortunate because Chris was having a solid run. But showing that he is currently disconnected at the moment. Okay, Max Muir is coming around here to win this thing, and he does take the win. I missed it just as I said that, and takes the win. Let's count some of these guys down as they come through, coming around the finish here. Victor Tanaka in 2nd place. Here comes Miguel Colon. So we were busy talking about... Chris, that we missed Max take the finish line. I'll come back and get a picture of Max here for us in a minute before we wrap up. But here's Miguel Colon flashing his lights. Nice 3rd place finish for Miguel. Behind him is a 4th position, Jose Ramirez. Really solid run for him. Michael Parker in 5th place. And then Steven Yanni just behind Michael. This is a phenomenal run for Steven, and he's happy about it. Look at that, Ryan, going back and forth. And then JT Tammy here. Justin Hess coming in. Paul Darling still out on the track, getting ready to come around and take the finish in 9th position, and being closely pursued by Jose Dolio. Those are our top 10. But this man right here is our winner tonight, and what a phenomenal run. Let's watch him cool down a little bit from Max Muir. I hope we get the opportunity to talk to him tonight here, Ryan, and what a clinic this guy put on.
Yeah, he took us to Japan and showed us how it was done.
He really did. Let's also give a shout out to this man, Ricardo Delgado. My apologies, Ricardo. Ricardo, here he comes across the line to take the win in the AM category. What a beautiful run in this Ferrari tonight, and a phenomenal win for him. He made the opportunity that he was given stick, and I believe that is his first win within CMS, so maybe that's the other gentleman we want to try to get an opportunity to talk to tonight in the interview booth if he's able to come by and visit with us. Huge shout out to him. Ryan, we got one in the books here.
Awesome. Yeah, really, this is exactly what I hoped for from this race. It delivered. All the drivers delivered, and yeah, what a fun night.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great race. And hopefully we can get an opportunity to talk to our two winners here in a moment if they're able to stop by the Discord with us. But before we do that, again, we just want to thank everybody that comes out here and watches us. We certainly want to thank simrace247.com for their sponsorship. We want to thank all of the members of Champion Motorsports. We are super excited about the racing here at Twin Ring Motegi. We saw a great race week and a half ago at our Porsche Cup Series that kicked off kind of the sequence of events at this track. We've had a really fun race tonight here, and we're also super excited about the race on Sunday, where we will have our three classes of cars doing battle on this track again, and can't wait to bring it to you all. So, Ryan, let's see, do we have anybody stop by yet, or are they still probably getting organized?
We do have a Ricardo that we could pull in if you want.
Yeah, let me see here. Yes, we do. Let's pull Ricardo in here and let's talk to him. How about I take him and you take Max, if
Sure.
Max comes by. All right, let's see. Ricardo. Oh, see, and I lost him. I didn't accidentally remove him from the server, I hope. Oh, one in audio. Or is he in there? Yeah, he is. Okay.
He's in the audience.
Yeah. Okay.
Pull him in.
I'll bring him in. Ricardo, do you have a copy?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear us?
Yep. How you doing, guys?
Hey, we're doing fantastic. Congratulations on the win tonight. If I'm not mistaken, that was your first win here with us at CMS. Keep me honest if that's not the case, but tell us about it. Terrific run.
Yeah, it was my first race actually with you guys on the CMS series. Miguel Colon did the invite to this series for me. Yeah, it was pretty hard track, but try to manage the tires to not overheat them and keep the pace up.
Yeah, well, you did a really, really good job. And, you also gained about 15 positions from where you started in the race. And a couple of the guys ahead of you both had trouble early. And tell you what, their misfortune was your opportunity. And Ricardo, it was only about 2 or 3 laps into the race, and you kind of assumed that lead and really never looked back. In fact, Bobby B came up behind you at one point in the race. It looked like you had a teammate maybe up there with you, another one of the sim racing PR guys, and but then you checked out from Bobby and were looking terrific.
That I did evade and Bobby got a little bit stuck on it, and I got like a 2-second gap, and after that I just started pulling away.
That's terrific. Well, how many, we were trying to get a count, but how many of yourself, Miguel, how many of you all were out there tonight? And do you all get on a Discord together when you're racing, or you just, and we also noticed you're all kind of running different cars. So tell us about this.
Well, at least from Team PR, it's myself and Miguel, but from Puerto Rico, actually, it's Josue and Jose Correa and Jose de Oleo. But now I'm just racing by myself. But they do actually, some of them get to the Discord at Sim PR.
Yeah, well, that's great. Seems like you guys have a really strong community, and we're fortunate to have all of you here with us in CMS. So, Ricardo, are you racing anywhere else with us right now, like our iRacing Team Endurance Series or any of the other events at CMS, or is going to be focused on the GT3 sprints?
No, this one is actually my first series that I'm running with you guys. And actually, the car that I like to drive more is the GT3. So,
well, it sounds like Ricardo's breaking up here, so having a little bit of a technical issue. So we'll go ahead and just wrap up and again say congratulations to him. What a terrific run, Ryan. I was really impressed with the way he drove tonight.
Yeah, that is the way you want to do it when you come into a new league.
Absolutely. So it was great to have him here for the first time. And Ricardo, if you're hearing us, got a little bit of a technical issue there with you. And so, again, congratulations on your run. we really enjoyed talking to you. We're hoping to get to know you a little bit better, and hope to see you not only in this series, but maybe get with Miguel and some of the guys at SimRacing PR, and we'd like to see you out in the iRacing Team Endurance Series as well. Ryan, what do you say we bring in old Max Muir and let him tell us about this, what is it Kyle Larson says, a good old-fashioned ass whooping he put on everybody tonight?
Yeah.
I'll bring him in here and let you take it away with him.
Yep. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Max.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I've just got one question for you, my friend.
Yes,
Where
sir.
did you hide the JATO rockets?
They're under the car actually.
Okay.
Yeah, they only deployed on the straights though, so I was sneaky about it.
Man, that was well, just a clinic. Have you put in a ton of time at this track, or is it just a sort of an average one for you?
I did buy it like 2 days ago, but I did put in quite a few hours in those 2 days. Like, I was practicing with Victor on Monday, and then JP a good bit yesterday, and so yeah, I'd say I put in like 3 or 4 hours for sure.
Well, yeah, I'm impressed. There's no way I could get anywhere near that level of dominance after just a few hours. So, yeah, congratulations, a win well deserved. How are you feeling out there?
I mean, I'm feeling great. I was losing my tires at the end. I'm sure everyone else struggled with that. But I had a near spin on the second to last lap, which wasn't much fun. But other than that, it was a pretty smooth race. Like I just enjoyed it the whole time.
Good. So, were your let me guess, your lefts were going on you?
Yeah, left rear. It was like 20-something%, which isn't horrible. Like last race in the preseason, I was at 8%. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I did notice that you and a few of the other drivers coming out of that one, can't remember which turn it was, the rear would always just go just a little bit. So that was probably not stuff like that not helping, and the track temperature not helping.
Oh, for sure. The track temp was crazy high today. I think that was probably the hairpin, if I'm not mistaken there. I was definitely losing the rear a lot. I had to short shift towards the end of the race. But yeah.
Okay, yeah. So what are your plans for the rest of the season? You hoping to make all the races?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to run the whole championship this year since I showed up at Imola last year, which was towards the end, I think. So, yeah.
Right on. Well, I'm sure all the other guys here are going to be excited to race with you, and you're going to give them a challenge, make them earn it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's great to meet so many new people too. Like, we have like 5 or 6 people in the Discord when we're racing, and we're sharing setups and advice, and it's just a lot of fun, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're all about here. Just we're a big group of friends, but just a group of friends that likes to get together and race.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, well, Max, this is David. Congrats again as well. Really enjoyed hearing the interview with Ryan, and I don't know if you're a NASCAR fan or not. Maybe tell us if you are.
I am not super familiar with NASCAR. I am a huge F1 fan, IMSA fan. I like IndyCar too.
Well, the reason I'm asking that is you may know of Kyle Larson, and he's got when he has a race like you had tonight, and he will do it occasionally. He says that he just put a good old ass whooping on everybody, and you certainly did that tonight. And having any sort of comparison to Kyle Larson is in high company. So, man, what a great race!
He's one of the better drivers out there. So.
Yeah, just from a pure driver perspective, you could put him in a big wheel or an F1 car, and he's going to be the guy to beat. And you, Ryan and I were talking about, you look like Kyle Larson tonight.
Well, that's a high compliment. I appreciate that, David.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for coming by. Ryan, anything more for Max?
No, congratulations again, and I guess we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys, for sure.
Thanks, Max. Congrats on the win, and hope to see you again here in the booth a few times this year.
Yeah, sounds good. Have a nice night.
Take care. Well, Ryan, wow, that was phenomenal. Hearing from both of our winners tonight. Great way to start the season. I'm excited. I know you are too. Where are we going to be next? Do you have the schedule handy?
I do. It left my brain, but it's coming back. stand by. Next week we are in Monza, but we are not doing normal Monza. We're doing Monza combined.
Oh, that is a really fun track. I tell you, we did
Sunset.
at Sunset. That is going to be phenomenal. I cannot wait to be a part of that. Speaking of NASCAR, right? You get the oval, you get it all there, and that would be really cool to see NASCAR go run a race there. Man, boy, wouldn't that be incredible?
Oval.
Yeah, that would be crazy. But we ran a race actually to talk about this. Earlier in the broadcast, I mentioned the iRacing endurance team that we have here at CMS, and we ran in the MTech series with the Majors League a few seasons ago. We had 2 GT4 entries. Team ended up winning the championship, which was a huge accomplishment. But that was one of the races that we ran, was at Monza Combined, and boy, it was so much fun. I thought it was going to be like a bad idea when they said they were going to race there, but boy, it ended up being just a terrific race, and I think we'll see the same thing here.
Yeah, we did this about 2 years ago at CMS, and that was with, I believe, GTE and GT4, I think. And yeah, it was the same thing. Like, I thought that it might be a wreck fest, but it wasn't that bad. I think you had an incident.
Well, I did. That reminds me actually of that night. Now that you mentioned it, that was the night that Brian Sabaliski and I about killed each other on and off the track. We got into an argument afterwards, and I was tough on Brian, but in the end, I think I ended up getting a penalty for the damn thing and had to, and so it was just kind of, anyhow, enough about that. But yeah, aside from mine and Brian's issue, we put on a hell of a race there. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, it was good.
I think I lasted literally about to the first corner on the big oval, and I was done. And so was Brian. And we were mad at each other, and both of us were sitting on the sidelines.
Right.
So.
Yeah, but that's going to happen anywhere. But yeah, I think the combined Monza, it's a rare gem. Like, it's not something you want to put on every calendar, but as a once in a while thing to make it a bit special, I think it's a really good choice.
Absolutely. Well, let's wrap up here for tonight. Ryan, thank you, and glad to be back in the booth with you. It's going to be a fun year, isn't it?
It is. Thank you, David.
Yeah, it will be. So a couple of announcements real quickly here before we say goodnight. Again, thank you all for watching. Thanks again to simrace247.com. This Sunday, coming Sunday, I believe that is the 25th. Keep me honest, Ryan, if I'm wrong on that, but we will have the iRacing Team Endurance Series at this same track. We will be broadcast live on the CMS YouTube channel by our friends at Apex Sim Racing TV. They do a phenomenal job on our broadcasts, and we cannot wait to bring that race with you with our title sponsor, Penguin RC Simulation. So if you want to see some more fun racing here with these drivers and others, tune in for that. Also, we mentioned earlier, we're starting a new iRacing series on Friday nights, something that we've not done in a while. We're going to be doing some ovals, some longer tracks, some short tracks, a couple of road courses in the NASCAR trucks. And that series is available for sign up now. Information is on our website and on our Discord, and might have a few surprises in there for you guys too, and some of that could involve a little bit of a broadcast announcement. So if you're still tuning in here with us at the end of this thing tonight and you stuck with us to the finish, you might have gotten a little preview of something we're trying to work out there. No promises, but hope to be able to have an exciting announcement about that soon. So Ryan, let's put this one in the books, and what do you say we get off the computer and settle down, maybe take a cold shower after this one tonight, and get ready for next week at Monza.
Sounds good.
All right, everyone. Good night.
Good night.